What is up, guys? It's the PlayStation Pichu, and we're now on episode 24. And now we're facing Gulp.
Gulp, we finally made Avalar ours. You've earned a special reward. Gulp, what is it, boy? Oh, the fairy. Here you go. Oh! You singed my cape! Dragon, you are really starting to get on my nerves! Say goodbye, flame breath! Gulp! Lunchtime!
So yes, apparently Gulp has been outfitted with some weird laser thing on his back. And that will be our boss fight for the Autumn Plains. I also love how Spyro literally made Ripto fly through the air after getting flamed.
You singed my cape, dragon!
Also, am I the only one who finds Gulp his lunchtime voice line menacing?
Gulp, lunchtime! Already making me quote the villain.
I mean, you don't mind that, do you?
No, it's actually kind of fun quoting Spyro games for once. Anyways, don't mind the noise in the background on my end, I'm just making myself food.
So,
And I've also kind of spooked because I've been watching the songs for the first time. All 9 of them. Now that I'm just taking a break, of course, before I watch Saw 4, the 5th film. Watch them, kids. Trust me, you don't wanna.
I know I don't. And I'm 18. No, 20. Well, at the time of this recording, anyway. But,
Yeah.
here's the gimmick with
I'm
Gulp.
22 at the time of this recording, so yeah, if it's scaring me and I'm an adult, that's saying something.
It's clearly saying that I don't want to watch them. And this is coming from someone who is interested in playing a lot of indie horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's, The 8 Pages, Limbo. Yeah,
I'll say this, of course, for adults that do want to see it, it is a masterpiece. It's really truly something. But let's stay off that topic considering Donnie's channel, of course.
Though you did say it has some emotional moments, right? Oh wait.
So far in Saw 3, it's kind of emotional. Just be careful of the intro, that one's like, oh god.
Oh wait, you just said not to bring it up because my channel really isn't meant for that kind of stuff. Though when I eventually...
Let's talk about the fight. Let's talk about the fight.
Oh right, so the gimmick with Gulp is that he is way too big to charge at because he has...
Yeah, he's quite huge.
And he can't be flamed either because if you try to do that, he'll essentially... I never tried flaming him, but it'll most likely perform a counterattack that will most likely knock you into lava or at least very far.
Yeah, most likely.
So what you need to do...
Let's take turns describing his attacks, of course.
First, his charging. He'll run towards you, jump, then flop on you, and do a little roar before going again. What you need to do to damage him is charge into these explosive barrels in order to do any damage to him. But don't get too close to the explosion, or you'll take damage yourself.
And be careful while attacking him, of course. Those lasers on his back are not for show. They'll shoot some plasma orbs at you.
And the AI is smart enough.
Around. The more you damage him, the more he fires. I ain't kidding.
And the AI is smart enough to shoot in estimated directions the player is about to go next. So in order to avoid damage, because yes, there is a skill point where you have to ace this boss, and it's easier said than done, the best course of action when he's shooting the lasers is to run in circles. I found that...
Mainly around the... If you look at the floor, you'll find the best circle to run around, and it's the closest one to him, of course.
Right.
But either way, it's not easy dodging.
And when
Maybe
he's...
that way, of course.
And
there
in order...
is a better way to dodge him, though, when it comes to those things. Run in smaller circles, but keep to that edge area that I pointed out. It helps. Small circles, but near those edges. It helps, but also be aware of where he's shooting so that you're not running right where he's blasting. This battle, I will tell you right now, took me 2 hours to ace. Not a bad kind of acing battle, I'll say, at least, because the original Ripto from the original trilogy actually took me 2 hours as well. I just wish I could say the same thing about Reignited Ripto.
Yeah, even I kinda have bad memories trying to take him down, without hurting myself. Aside from the first phase, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
and
we'll talk about Ripto when he comes.
And to avoid Gulp's charging, try to charge towards him so that when he jumps, there's no guarantee. You'll basically avoid it completely. And to get a better chance at dodging the plasma orbs, the best advice I have is that he'll try to, if you're standing still, he'll shoot right on top of you, but if you're moving, he'll shoot in the direction you're facing, because the game thinks you plan
that way. He'll predict your movements, basically, so try to run in those circles to confuse his lasers.
Yeah, that's the best course of action. And
and don't let him get any of the freaking explosives you're supposed to throw at him. He will use them against you. I am not kidding. And this battle actually has 2 skill points, one of which is using the rocket and shoot Ripto on his throne. It's kind of funny actually, but still.
yeah, and I would advise using the missiles for that, because charging into the explosive barrel doesn't get enough height or distance in order to reach him. And shooting the bombs, well, the bomb will most likely explode before you could even get a chance to get it close to Ripto. And even if the bomb is close to Ripto in the first place...
fun fact about this boss battle. If you're playing the original... you're gonna... Oh god, pardon me. You're gonna have to play the original version of the soundtrack piece for this one. Of course, the original song is actually the only song that is technically copyrighted in this entire soundtrack. Why? Because some man did research on the internet and found out this boss battle music was used in many films and trailers and games before Gulp. I'm not kidding, there was actually a 2-part video on the internet finding out where the heck they found the song.
Wait.
And I am shocked with Reignited Trilogy that they would actually remake the entire song.
Wait. This isn't an original Spyro 2 song?
Nope, it's been used in many things, apparently. Which is kind of surprising, of course.
Yeah.
So this song was that popular in trailers, in movies, and games. This is one epic battle, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, needless to say, I think this fits better as a Spyro boss music, just from the tension of trying to avoid getting crushed by Gulp, dodging the lasers, shooting the bombs.
I have to agree, because, well, I first heard it in the game, of course. And it always will be associated with that.
Yep. And...
Sorry about that, but it will always be associated with that to me.
Yep. Same here.
I'm okay, sorry about that.
So you might be asking yourself, what happens if Gulp actually swallows some of the weapons? Well, you saw it happen a little bit. If he swallows the bomb, he'll use flame burst and essentially breathe these fireballs throughout the entire arena, and that can be hard to dodge. But what happens if he eats a barrel? Well, he basically does Crush's stomp attack. That one's relatively easy. As for the rocket, I don't think I've seen that.
I forget what it does.
Oh, also,
Probably just spits the rocket back at you, I don't know. Also, if you take enough damage in this fight, you'll have to, like, there will be chickens drop down. But be warned, though, just like the weapons, Gulp can use the chickens against you. So instead of healing you, he can heal himself, dragging the fight longer. This is not an easy task to perform, since battle to get through without taking too much damage. And it is possible to take enough damage, but it's easy to get the chicken before him, of course. But do not let him have the chicken, because he can heal himself.
and in addition to that, there's a trophy that you can get where you have to defeat Gulp without killing any fodder. And I assume by fodder they mean the chicken.
Ace the battle the first time, so then I get the trophy and the skill point. So it's basically a double win, but I also managed to shoot Ripto at the same time. This is nearly impossible to do in the battle without taking damage. I need to do that for now. When the rockets came, I just started spinning them rapidly towards Ripto without aiming, trying to dodge Gulp at the same time, and I was lucky to just shoot him without looking, and I was just praying to God, and then beat the boss with no damage. I am not joking, this was a pain to do. Trying to multitask Gulp's attacks while trying to shoot Ripto. This has actually been done impossible to do at the same time normally. I managed to do it once. Maybe twice, if I remember correctly, with rebuilding my save file when I moved to my actual home PS4 when I got it.
Maybe that would make you, and maybe that means you pulled a Markiplier and became the king of Spyro or something.
I might as well be.
That's a joke, by the way.
But I would prefer the clean Spyro, if you will. Considering
Alright. But
it's alright, it's
here's
alright.
some...
It takes getting used to, buddy. Alright.
Oh, by the way, quick advisement about the plasma balls. I would advise that you don't use the ninja roll to dodge it. It doesn't...
This is probably one of the few fights you can't use that in at all.
It takes a lot of strict timing in order to be able to get down. And
if I see someone try to beat him with a ninja roll, I'll be jealous, but still, it would be impressive to see. But unfortunately, that's going to be impossible considering the placement of it. So, yeah, probably best not to do it unless you want to torture yourself for freaking days and days.
yeah, so oh, by the way, I also got the skill point where you blast Ripto with the rocket, but I took damage before that, so I had to kill myself in order to reset the fight. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing that a lot because it took me 2 full episodes to get this skill point. So the time frame for me to defeat this boss was around 20 to 30 minutes. Add that to my 10 minutes in the other episode, which you'll see as a part of a compilation where I complete the rest of Autumn Flame. It took me about 40 to 15 minutes to ace this fight. Almost half the time of PC.
Yeah.
Now, some of you might...
I gave him a few hints, of course, to try to save him some time and pain. Trust me, what I went through with the last 2 bosses of this game, I do not want him to have as much trouble as I did, so I helped him a little, of course.
Yeah, but considering how much time it took me, I don't think the advice gave too much help. But it's the courtesy.
As best as I can do, unfortunately.
Hey, it's the courtesy of it that matters. It's like Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels having unlimited continues, in spite of it being harder than petrified dinosaur crap.
Well, Mario the Lost Levels was actually the original Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan, and they released a different game in Japan that ended up becoming Mario Bros. 2 for America, and then they released that in Japan, that American version, where they just slapped Mario into the mixture. Yeah, Mario Bros. 2 that we got, where it was all just a dream, was not meant to be Mario Bros. 2 originally. And we never got to see the Lost Levels until recent years, of course. So yeah.
Actually, the first time we got to see Lost Levels in the States was in the Super NES game, Super Mario All-Stars, which were essentially remakes of Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, and even Super Mario World got attention. And of course, there was the Lost Levels.
But I should mention this. It probably didn't do well in Japan either way, because, well, it was exactly the same as the first, just a more difficult.
Yeah, and funny thing is, Nintendo of America didn't localize Lost Levels for that exact reason. So they were originally going to make a Super Mario Brothers. They were probably going to have the Super Mario Brothers 2 be the one where it's all a dream, be the original Super Mario Brothers 2, but then Koto Laboratory. No.
I don't remember what the original game that Mario Bros. 2 was called exactly.
I don't remember the name of the company, but they signed a deal with the Nintendo to make a game based off of a TV show called Yume Kojo, which is Japanese for Dream Factory. That's where the
dream part.
What?
Also, I do like the Super Mario Bros. 2 remake on the Game Boy Advance. Not only having more details, but also voice acting, and just Wart's voice was just, oh my god, it fits him perfectly. I am the great Wart.
Yeah, I also love the fact that when you defeat him, he croaks. To get it? Croaks.
Yeah, because he's a frog.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they never returned him. I'm surprised it's always Bowser. I'd love to fight Wart again, you know? Plus, Wart originally owned the Shy Guys and Birdo. Oh, and by the way, I actually looked it up because I actually had the old instruction booklet for this game. Yeah, apparently, the instruction booklet made a freaking error and got two characters mixed up. One of them being Birdo, and an oxygen drive for the Shy Guys called Astro. They got the two names mixed up, and so I originally was so confused for many years, thinking that Birdo was called Astro. So I looked it up and found out, oh, it was just an error in that instruction booklet. My mistake. And they fixed that error straight afterwards, of course, with every other game.
Yeah, and funny thing is, speaking of Mario Advance, I actually have a Choose Your Own Adventure book based on Super Mario Advance. It basically plays pretty much exactly like how you would expect Super Mario Bros. 2 to play, except you can choose to follow a specific character, have them do a specific action, and it doesn't cover all 7 worlds, but it's in, like, Mario doesn't go through all 7 worlds like he normally would. Neither does Luigi, Toad, or Peach. They pretty much have one world dedicated to them. Then the rest plays out, but it's still an awesome tie-in. It even has a guidebook at the very end of the book to talk about the enemies and items you'll find in the game, such as the bosses and enemies like the bombs, which also act as items, by the way, since you can pick them up and throw them at your enemies. It's just pretty cool. If only Spyro got a tie-in like that. And speaking of which, that's one of the few times where Peach was actually playable instead of getting kidnapped for the millionth time to the point where it completely flanderized her character. It seems like the only time where she isn't kidnapped is in Smash Bros. Or Mario Party or Mario Kart. But even in Smash Ultimate, Gulp pretty much wiped her along with everyone else, so I'm not sure if that counts because everyone but Kirby was taken by him. That's up
kind
to
of, like, shocking, I'll say that. Seriously, I felt like I was just living Adventures Infinity War's ending.
Yeah, it makes Thanos look like a midget in comparison. I always wondered who would win in a fight, Gulp or Thanos?
Yeah, Thanos would probably just snap Gulp out of existence.
Fair enough, but what if he didn't have all the stones to be able to do that? What would happen
Oh,
then?
then he's probably just screwed.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, either way. So yeah, it just depends on whether he has the stone. But yeah, I'll say that he wins, but when he has the stones, of course.
Yeah. And you know, it kinda makes me wonder, going back to Spyro, makes me wonder, why doesn't Spyro come up with an idea of giving himself some cool weapons like Ripto did with Gulp?
He's quadruped,
So is Gulp.
Even be able to hold a weapon.
So is Gulp, but he has a pretty cool weapon on his back. Maybe Spyro can do the same, though. That would kind of defeat.
The weapon was more forced onto Gulp's back, and Spyro can take out pretty big enemies without any weapons. Trust me, play Let's Go Spyro 3 Dark of the Dragon, you'll see what I freaking mean. The goddamn mountain-sized monster was taken down by Spyro with nothing on his back.
True, and I guess him having weapons would defeat the purpose of what we would see in Spyro 3, but that's a beast for another day.
Yeah. So anyways, let's just move on, I guess. I don't know what else to say really about this fight.
Other than the fact that it's brutally hard even when you have advice from someone.
Yeah.
I bet if there was a strategy guide and I was reading it while I was doing this fight, I probably would have had trouble regardless.
Yeah, even though I know what to do, I still struggle.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it kind of reminds.
This is true difficulty.
It kind of reminds me of fighting the Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow incarnation of Sabrina, or White Me in the Johto region. Those two have pretty insane teams. Though I'd say Gen 1 Sabrina is still harder because of the special stats.
Do I dare say the one line, of course? Since you're talking about Pokemon gym leaders.
What line?
Don't remember the one that one nightmare I had? The one unforgettable line I will never freaking forget.
What was it?
After meeting N, death is relentless.
Well, if you die from a terrorist attack, I can definitely see that being the case. Also, when I got to the 30-minute mark, you may have noticed that I died pretty much as I killed the boss. Since I was kind of getting tired of trying to ace him, and since I had to backtrack to Autumn Plains regardless, I knew that it would give me an opportunity to do it later. But as far as I know, DC did not give up fighting the boss until he aced it. Like, he did it on his first encounter.
The first time
Even
facing the Reignited Gulp boss, I did not just stop, did not give up. I tried myself to succeed, and tried again and again and again until it was accomplished. I did the impossible. Both skill points at once.
yeah. But as for me,
Same about my sanity with Ripto, of course. Oh boy, you're gonna hear me freak out a lot more with that one.
just keep it level, okay? I feel your pain, man. But, wait, what was I gonna say again? Oh, right, but I pretty much just stopped bothering until I got the head bash and backtracked all the levels, so yeah, you could argue that I'm pretty much I would be inferior to him in that regard, since I stopped for a moment, but he didn't.
It's probably best that you did take a break, of course. I did not stop. Not once.
I mean, I get that it took me less time to do it, but still. And even when I get into one last health point, as you'll see, I still got hit. And I ended up failing the skill point. But since this episode was getting long enough as it is, I was just...
You were just straight up, you wanted to get it over with and move on.
Yeah. Although funny thing is, I wasn't that way initially. I tried to kill myself right as the Gulp lost his last bar of health, and it counted it as me beating the boss. And I decided, you know what? I'll just take it.
Or you basically thinking, you know what, Gulp, I can't kill you, so I'm gonna take you to heck with me!
Yeah, I pretty much used Destiny Bond.
You just basically pulled a Kung Fu Panda 3.
You
Wait, you
mean
never
that?
saw the third movie?
Oh. Anyway, boss is defeated. Autumn Plains has been restored.
Spyro, you did it!
Whoa! Laura, where'd you come from?
I was just outside the castle in Autumn Plains. The castle is now free again. There's no sign of Ripto. And since you've been around, the creatures of Avalar are finally starting to get along. Since you've done so much for Avalar, and since I know you've really missed being on vacation, we really wanted to do something nice for you. It's not much, but we hope you like it.
Oh, wow, this is great. Aren't you gonna join me?
No. I'd like to, but I've got to go check on the professor in the winter tundra. He's still trying to fix the super portal so we can send you home.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I think I'll just hang out here for a while and soak up a few rays. Uh-huh. Hey, where'd Laura go? I better follow her.
That was a short nap.
Yeah, that was... How did he know that she was gonna move?
I don't know. But let's see
Either
how
that,
the
or it's a
Professor,
four-time
Alora,
lapse,
and
of
Hunter
course.
are
Maybe he
holding
was
up
asleep for a
in the
few
winter
hours, who
tundra.
knows?
Maybe. So
We
let's...
just will never know because there was no time, card or anything like that, like on SpongeBob.
Right. So...
I think I've finally come up with a way to access the Dragon Worlds from the Super Portal. This power crystal should give us the extra boost that we need. Just a few more calculations to set it up. I think I have it. Excellent. Everything is finally ready. We're going to need a lot more orbs, but with the power crystal boosting it, the Super Portal should work again.
So, you thought you had gotten rid of me. Well, I'm afraid not. I persuaded that fat bear Moneybags to sell me a few bombs.
That
the power
stupid,
crystal.
greedy
Don't
bear.
even try it, book boy, or you'll be the world's smartest pile of ashes. This is just what I need for a new scepter.
Hunter, do something. Quick!
Hey! Give that back! Well, I tried.
Hey, he did.
You little fools! After I destroy you all with my new scepter, I'm going to rename this place Riptonia!
That has a nice ring to it. Moneybags got thrown out of the castle again. That's what you get for helping the bad guy, Moneybags. And
Yeah, you get your butt kicked.
oh god, I have to pay him again.
Oh, you gotta be kidding
Spyro,
me.
Ripto's
He gets
still
kicked
alive.
out and he doesn't
and
think,
he's
so
locked us
what?
out of the
Maybe I should
castle.
give Spyro a
Even worse,
freebie.
he's stolen our new power crystal for the super
Nope.
portal.
Why does he even help Ripto? He's so obsessed with money that he doesn't care that he's helping a bad guy. In the next episode, we will be learning our final move, but it's going to be coming from him again.